Hey, 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 welcome back to If Margaritas Could Talk, the podcast where we spill life's truths with a salted rim and a little sass. I'm your host, Tracee Black, and today's episode is personal, real. It's the stuff we whisper about in group chats, side-eye in the mirror, and sometimes cry about in the car on the way to Target. Today, we are diving into the beautiful, brutal, badass transformation that happens right around age 40, or 50, or 60. You guessed it. This episode is called Just Like That. After 40, everything changes. And trust me, everything does. Your body, your friendships, your boundaries, your purpose. Let's talk about it. So grab your drink, coffee, water, wine, or yes, a margarita, and let's get into it. Okay, so first up, what no one tells you about after 40. We grow up hearing 40 is the new 30, right? Cute. I don't really think so. But until your joints start clicking when you get up from the couch and you realize sleep is now a delicate relationship you're constantly trying to repair. After 40, your body starts to send text messages in the forms of lower back pain, hormonal changes, and the sudden inability to tolerate cheap wine. Truth. You wake up tired. You go to bed tired. And somewhere in between, your metabolism decides to ghost you without any explanation. That's right. I said it. You are ghosted by your metabolism. So everybody who is premenopausal, perimenopausal, postmenopausal, menopausal, all things, you know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. It's not just physical. Your relationships shift. Some friendships fade. Some implode. You realize the difference between people who are seasonal and people who are rooted. Let me say that again. You realize the difference between people who are seasonal and people who are rooted. And that clarity is a gift, even if it stings a little bit. You also become aware of how much time you've spent people-pleasing, overperforming, and maybe perhaps even shrinking yourself. I've been guilty of this myself. And you're like, wait, was I doing that all for... And then you question everything. And just like that, you start reevaluating everything. Let's talk about the power of shift, right? Shifting the power. Because after 40, it hits differently. This is the moment when you realize that no is a full sentence, no explanation, no apology, no guilt, just no. No is a part of your personal peace. You start doing things because they align with your peace, not because they check a box or impress someone new. Because I think we're kind of all guilty of that, right? That's okay. That's not your business. You reclaim your time, your choices, and your voice. You stop going to every event out of obligation. You start protecting your energy like it's a rare perfume only you spray on special occasions. You know what I'm talking about. Every single one of you that's listening to this in this moment. And it's not just about cutting people off. It's about making room. Room for real conversations. Room for silence. Room for dreaming new dreams. Because let's be honest, after 40, your dreams evolve too. I personally stepped into a version of myself I didn't know I was even allowed to be. Confident, creative, and uninterested in performance-based living. Sometimes we have to separate ourselves from things that no longer serve us. And all of a sudden you have this light bulb moment. And the light bulb moment tells you, hey girl, you need to listen to what I'm telling you. Your gut, your intuition, your energy, everything about it. So be confident in your choice. And I don't know. I think as we're getting older, there's this position that we feel we need to be in. And I completely understand why older people are maybe a little bit crunchy around the edges, so to speak. That's not me yet. I will clarify, that's not me yet. However, I have decided that I'm keeping and protecting my peace as much as possible. I recently had to let go of a friendship because it no longer served me. There was no pouring back into the relationship. And sometimes even when you set those boundaries from the beginning and somebody doesn't fully respect those boundaries or respect you as an individual, you're faced with having to make a decision maybe that's uncomfortable. And I get it. Nobody likes to do that. But the internal glow up is part of all of it. So I want to really get one thing straight with you. The real glow up. It's not the skincare. It's not the Botox. It's not the green juice or the gym selfies. The real glow up is internal. It's an internal button that you have to push once you recognize that it's there. It's sitting with your pain instead of hiding it. It's choosing therapy. It's saying, I don't know who I am anymore, and using that as a starting point, not a crisis. You learn how to forgive yourself for maybe past mistakes, for staying in it too long, for maybe not knowing better. And when you start showing up with that kind of grace for yourself, you completely shine different. I remember turning 45 and looking in the mirror like, damn girl, we made it. It wasn't celebrating wrinkle-free skin. I was celebrating resilience, growth, survival, that internal shift that no one can take away from you. And you then need to learn how to become your own damn hero. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. There's a fabulous lady that is now on TikTok and all the things and Instagram and Facebook. And she has started the We Do Not Care Club. And I now am a partner in that club. I've made a decision. I don't care. I don't care if you decide that you're hurt because I said I'm not going to tolerate this nonsense. I don't care if you're hurt because you think that you deserve better from me when you've been disrespecting me all along. Friendships are a two-way street, and all relationships are a two-way street. Let's face it. What I want to do is challenge you. So I got some little bit of listener love and the challenge of the week. So I asked some of you to share your just like that moments after 40, and the response was incredible. One woman said, I woke up at 43 and realized I was done asking for permission from my boss, my ex, even my grown kids. I moved cities, started painting again, and now I feel alive. And just let that sink in for a second. The words, I feel alive. It is so remarkable when you can hit that point in your life and say, something no longer serves me, and I'm making some choices to say, I'm done asking for permission. Been there, done that, sometimes still do it. But I listen to that voice. I listen to the recognition that I am serving myself. Part of the let them, part of the let me. In my book, of course, The New Year, New Me is a 2-part book that talks about new year. So when you're starting off, it's about creating some change and those steps of repetition of change. When you take those steps, it then evolves into the new me part, the second half of the book. The new me is about putting everything you learned in the new year into action. So when we are, realizing that we're done asking for permission, there's sort of a little bit of a shift. I made a mantra to myself this year when I said mantra, not mantra, that I would be creating more space for internal happiness. And that meant just taking that moment to say, hey, I've got 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to go for a quick walk outside, catch some fresh air, and listen to some good music so that I have a little bit of mental clarity from the noise. Everyday noise, all the noise, the cell phones, the bosses, the emails, the pressing things that are sitting on your desk that need to get done and need your attention. Let's talk about regrounding. It's super important, and it's part of it. It's part of the just like that moments. I did hear from another listener. She shared that after 40, she let her hair go gray and stopped wearing a bra unless she felt like it. She said, my freedom is glow, and that is what I'm talking about. That leads me to this week's challenge of the week. I want you to take 10 minutes, just 10. Write down these 3 things that you've at least outgrown. Write down 3 things that you're stepping into. This is your shift. You're allowed to evolve. So give yourself permission. I want to understand what it means when we're all sitting within our own self. Have you ever had those sleepless nights where you're tossing and turning and you're thinking about something that's completely ridiculous? It's because we're not listening into our internal buttons. Stop the tossing and turning and start just allowing yourself to breathe. I tell myself that probably 13 times a day because you know what? It needs to happen, and it's a part of the growth. It's a part of the change. And I think the new version after 40, 50, and 60 means we get to breathe and not feel so smothered by everything around us and all the people that are serving us no good. It's never easy when you're trying to make a change. It's like, oh, I have all these intentions of making a change and then never do it. But why? What is the internal struggles serving you? So if it's not serving you, I want to hear from you. I want to hear how your 10 minutes, your 3 things that you wrote down and are stepping into, how they helped. What is your shift? Because don't forget, you are allowed to evolve and you don't need anyone else's permission. So, all right, beautiful people, I think that's it for today's episode. This is just a little shorty. If Margaritas could talk. So I hope something in here sparked a knowing in your gut or a hell yes in your spirit. Because just like that, you can choose yourself. You can rewrite the rules. You can stop shrinking and start standing. If this episode spoke to you, do me a favor, leave a review, share it with your girls, and tag me on socials at Tracee L. Black or Tracee Lynn, or on TikTok at Salted and Sassy. Keep the conversation going. And until next time, stay salty, stay sassy, and remember your 40s aren't the beginning or the end. They're beginning of you. Cheers, my loves.